everything we do.
It's okay.
Let's go, guys. So we're all feeling pretty good?
Yeah.
Feeling a bit warmer? Just watching you guys out there, I was absolutely freezing just watching the water. So going through this morning, really awesome to see. So guys, as mentioned before we started this morning, we are part of an organisation that essentially travels Australia and talks about mental health. We talk to schools, to footy clubs, to work sites, to young kids like yourself, to adults, to older people, essentially as many people as you possibly can to talk about mental health. So what we're going to do today, guys, we're all going to have a bit of a group discussion, okay? Seb said you had a bit of a discussion yesterday at Perfit, a little bit about mental health, which is awesome to see. But today I want to get you guys involved a little bit and see what we can sort of come up with. Alrighty, sound good? So the first thing I want to talk about, guys, is obviously what we do when we go to these events around the country, to schools and stuff like that. We really want to encourage and ignite the conversation around mental health, okay? I think the biggest thing around mental health is there's not enough conversation around it, especially with people in your age group, okay? Sometimes it can be sort of put away and put to the side, life gets a bit busy, but especially when you start getting to 18, 20, into your 20s, into the workforce, unfortunately it does decrease along those ways as well. So essentially that's what we're here for, to make sure that conversation continues on throughout your school years, after your school years, and then beyond into adulthood. Alrighty. So first thing I want to talk about, guys, is I want to put this to you guys, okay? We want to talk about mental health. What is mental health? What do we think mental health is? Any ideas? No wrong answers, guys. Just yell them out.
Your mental state.
Mental state, yeah, absolutely. Any ideas?
Your mind.
Mind, yeah, for sure. Really big one. So this is a really tough question, guys, because essentially mental health is different for a lot of people and different for everybody, okay? So mental health can be experiencing some sadness, experiencing some anxiety. You might wake up and think, oh, I don't want to go to school today and I've got some projects that I haven't done yet. I'm a little bit anxious about that. I'm anxious about a test. I'm anxious about this certain class. I'm anxious about going and seeing my friends about this. All those little things that pop up throughout the day, that's anxiety, that relates back to our mental health, okay? So we've got a lot of different aspects and broad aspects around mental health. We've got positive mental health, which this morning, what I saw you guys do, that was positive mental health, okay? And the reason it's positive mental health is because although you guys are going crazy and jumping in the cold water, you all had a smile on your face, alrighty? You're all pretty happy, you all loved it, you're all having fun, and that's exactly what we call positive mental health. And then we have our negative mental health, okay, or our poor mental health. And these are the days that we do wake up and we just think, oh, I don't want to go to school today, I don't want to see my friends today, I don't want to go to a social environment today. You might wake up and you think, oh, I just want to do a cry. It might be those sorts of days, okay? And that's the mental health that will, if it hasn't already, impact us throughout our lives. Now, I've just turned 30, okay? I know I look 20, but I'm 30. And I've experienced, shaking your head. I've experienced some both aspects of mental health. Okay, I've experienced some really poor, bad mental health in my life. Okay, and I've experienced some really good mental health in my life. So I've got two beautiful kids. They've drawn these amazing pictures up here on the wall here, and that brings me really good mental health. Okay. What else brings me good mental health is doing events like this, okay? I love going to the gym, I love going running, I love spending time with my kids. That's my really, really good mental health stuff. Throughout my poor mental health times, I need to make sure that I'm looking after myself. I need to make sure that I'm highlighting that my mental health is really important, okay? And that's what I want to talk about a lot today. So sometimes when we do go through these days, guys, we sort of get in our own mind and things are going through our head that, I can't be sad and I can't be feeling this way and I'm scared feeling this way. And that's where we need to really take charge of our own health, our own mental health, and make sure that we're really looking after ourselves. Okay? So before we get into the other stuff, I want to ask you guys, what sort of positive mental health practices do you guys have? I know a big one is the reason you guys are here, but what are some good things that you guys love to do in your day-to-day or on your weekends that you just love to do?
Lego.
Lego, awesome.
Ride my bike.
Ride your bikes, beautiful.
Gaming.
Gaming, yeah, that was a big one I was talking about. Yeah, basketball, awesome. There's the gym, right? But there's the gym, so that's good. Training your dog, awesome one. We all love dogs. Dogs are the best one on earth. No. So these things, guys, these are really, really important things, okay? And as you get older, as you go through your teenage years and get into your young adulthood years, these things might change and they might adapt, okay? You might find new things, you might find things that you want to explore, you might find things that you want to really, really encourage yourself to do more and more. Now what I want to say to you guys about these things is they are so, so important, okay? These things are really important to make sure that over the next 10, 15 years, you're really giving yourself the best shot, okay? Living a really, really happy, healthy life. Now that's not saying that, you know, you're not going to have bad days, because unfortunately, guys, you may have bad days coming up, okay? And it's totally okay, it's totally fine. It's only, what day is that, Wednesday, and I've already had one bad day, where I woke up and I was just feeling a little crap. I was just feeling a little sad, I was feeling a little bit under the weather, I didn't really want to get up and go to work, and that's alright. It's okay to experience those days. Yeah.
Today is Tuesday.
It is Tuesday, isn't it? Good pick up. So yesterday was my bad day. And that's okay. It's okay to feel those days. Alright? So what I want to talk about today is how we can overcome those days, how we can notice those days as well. Okay? And then what we can do to make sure that we are looking after ourselves the best we possibly can. Alright? Next question I want to ask you guys.
Like, whatever it's called, the strength of your mind, or physical strength, or mental strength.
Great, awesome, fantastic. Any others, guys? Yeah.
Today when we had all the people trying to swim out and touch that buoy,
Yep.
it would have taken a lot of mental strength to ignore the cold.
Absolutely, yeah, that's a really good answer. Awesome. Any others, guys? No, they are awesome answers. You know, the ability to get in that freezing cold water, swim all the way out, touch the buoy, and then all the way back in, or even just do it on the paddleboard is absolutely incredible. We guys should all be so proud that we even jumped on there and did it. Whether it was a swim or the paddleboard, it was absolutely awesome to see. But that is mental. We can't feel really bad or have bad days. All right. And what we like to promote here, guys, is that we absolutely can do all of those things. We absolutely can have bad days. You don't have to be tough and strong and durable and fight through stuff. Okay. And I think over the next 10, 15 years, you guys will experience days like that, where you want to just have a bit of a cry, you want to just stay in bed, you want to talk to someone about your feelings and emotions. And I really want you guys to know that it's totally okay to do that. All right. It's a really brave thing to be able to sit there and say, hey, I want to talk to someone. I want to go and seek some support, whether it be from a parent, from a friend, from a GP or a doctor, something like that. It's a really, really brave thing to do. Not talking? Yeah. Yeah, really good. That's right. Any others, guys? No?
Straying away from the group.
Yeah, really good one, absolutely. And that change of behaviour is a really good one too. So especially if we have a really close friendship group, okay? And now for you guys, I know you guys do a lot of gaming, whether it be online or offline, and that's a really amazing community. It's a really amazing community where you can get together, whether you're logging on a game with someone at night time, but you essentially, even though you're on the other side of the computer, you're still in the community, okay? You're in somewhere that you can chat to someone, you're in somewhere where you're connecting with someone, whether it be physical or you're connecting online, okay? And when we notice changes of behaviour, that's a really good time for us to take some time to reflect on if that person is okay, but also ourselves, okay? If we wake up and think, you know, I'm usually really, really happy and very lucky and full of energy, and lately I haven't been feeling really good, I can't really get out of bed, I don't really want to go on the game, I don't really want to go to school. That might be a change in our own behaviour that we notice that, hey, maybe I need to go have a chat to one of my parents and say, hey, I'm feeling a bit crappy. You know, I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. I'm a bit anxious about school, I'm a bit anxious about this, and then actually assisting some help from there. Okay, so these are little things that we can not only notice in our friends and our mates, but also in ourselves as well. Okay, the going away from the group, you know, another really big one. If you start to notice that our friends are sort of changing a little bit, so that they're going away from your social media group or your social group, your physical social group, that's another point that we can start to ask that question, okay? And that important question is, are you okay? The important question is checking with our mate. Our slogan here is that there, all good bro. So So we love to use that slogan to check in with our mates. Alrighty? So you walk past a mate, you're worried about them, you ask, are you okay? You ask, all good, and you start a conversation, Alright? Now next, once we've asked that question, okay, we've asked a friend, hey, are you doing okay? And they turn around and say, no, I'm not doing okay. They're brave enough to say, no, I'm struggling. What can we then do for them? What can we do for someone that might be struggling?
Listen to them.
Listen? Yeah, absolutely.
Like even like with just small checkups, not going to cons, just got deep about how you feel, literally just going, hey, like, you're alright today, like, how's it feel?
Yeah, absolutely. Just a simple check-in, just a simple couple of words, whether it be physical, over phone message, phone call, whatever it might be. Any others, guys? No?
Maybe you could like tip them to have like a therapist or like something like that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Encourage, even more conversation on. That's really, really good. So we'll get a little bit into that seeking sort of professional help in a second. But that's a really good thing we can do to encourage our friends, and that's the biggest thing. Encouraging our friends to actually seek help. Encouraging our friends to continue talking about mental health. So the biggest thing with mental health, guys, is that when we are having a bad day and we're having maybe a few bad days in a row, okay, we might not want to talk about it. It's a really hard thing to talk about.
Kids helpline.
Kids Helpline, really good one. Yeah, absolutely. Any others?
Beyond Blue.
Beyond Blue, yep, huge. Beyond Blue, yep, cool. So a really good lifestyle.
You guys.
Oh, us guys, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we can definitely help. So there's a lot of great resources out there, guys. Great resources that you can contact via text message, online, or phone call. Okay, Kids Helpline is a really good one. Beyond Blue is fantastic, and Lifeline as well. Okay. Now, there's a bit of a stigma around these things. Okay, there's a bit of a stigma around Lifeline, around Kids Helpline, around Beyond Blue. And the stigma is, guys, that you have to be real or a friend. You know what it is?
Anybody else rather than spoken yet? Come on.
Someone you can trust.
Someone you can trust, absolutely. Sure.
People are good people you hang out with.
Yeah, definitely. Social and attractive. Okay.
Best friends?
Best friends, yeah, absolutely, for sure. One more? Put it on the spot.
Loyalty, someone's very loyal.
Huge, really good. So we've got a lot of different answers for when it comes to what is a friend and what is a mate, okay? Now, once the boys at the back started laughing, they carried on. They went all through the crowd, all right? And there was laughter and there was people giggling and essentially they were bullying this kid at the back for being brave enough to speak. And it was really, really upsetting to see. But what was amazing to see, guys, is that once this laughter had sort of spread to the front of them, and this young kid stood up and I said, this guy's the strongest kid in this room. He's the leader in this room. If you're looking for a leader, this guy's a leader. And everyone was shocked. And I explained why. I said, because he had the leadership to talk to look to his mates and tell them, hey, we need to be respectful of the other person talking. We need to show leadership and we need to show kindness to the person talking and not join in with the crowd and laughing. But instead he chose to be a leader to promote kindness, to promote respect. And that showed me how much that boy really does.
Last thing.
There's stuff in there.
I've got a real sticker.
There's always one.
So have a look in there, guys. You got some stickers. You got a few different things you can use and stick wherever you like and all that sort of stuff. But the most important thing we want you guys to look at, guys, is the actual SHAKA. Okay. And I want to tell you the reason we use the SHAKA. We believe that SHAKA is something that we can all do to just start a conversation. All right. So what we mean by that, guys, is if I was walking down the street, okay, and I saw someone with a SHAKA t-shirt, automatically I know that person has empathy and understanding for mental health. Okay? automatically I know that I can go up and talk to that person, I can feel safe with that person, alright, and I can have a conversation too. So whether you stick your what's it called, pop socket on your phone or the sticker on your laptop, whatever it might be, okay, I want you to know that once we do that, alright, it's like a permission slip. It's a permission slip that, you know, you're there to talk, you're there to listen, you're there to be open and vulnerable and have that conversation. Alright. So the sportsmanship award, guys. Where are our 2 swimmers from this morning?
Oh,
Two away.
Come on, man.
Well done, Mia. Well done, Lara.
It's okay to do 2. We couldn't split it. But you guys did awesome. The fact that you you know, got out there and that it was like, I'm still cold just thinking about it. You're still shaking. But the mental strength to be able to do that, get in the cold water and keep pushing on all the way up and all the way back is absolutely amazing. So,
Is it all
Well done.
So sad that you won't even
I'm all good, thanks.
just
Mel.
dots?
Oh no.
I've played that one too.
Should we get going?
When I showed everyone.
You are
With great power comes great responsibility.